Hey everybody, Peggy here. Today I'm back to talk about the 5 W's of Etsy: who, what, when, where, and why. Um, I end up in a lot of conversations about Etsy because that's where I do almost all of my selling. So I thought it was a good time to. I already have the camera out, so I thought it was a good opportunity to just discuss online selling, how it works. There's lots of people that want to get into it. There's lots of people that are into it and are trying to like build up to like the next level. And start. They've got the shop, but nothing's selling. They don't know what to do. Things are selling, but they're having problems. So I just thought I would start talking about how to sell online. I've been doing it for 4 years now. So the basics always start with who, what, when, where, and why. I mean, I don't know what your school experience was, but that was mine. It's like, well, whatever's going on, ask yourself these 5 questions and see if you can figure it out. So I'm going to start with that. I think it's a good starting place. It keeps it really, really simple. So who sells on who sells their stuff online? So people that already have a business and they want to expand into online sales. There are people who have online businesses of some kind or another who find Etsy to be the simplest and easiest platform. There's other platforms. Okay, don't get me wrong. There's like Depop and Mercado. There's a lot of Mercado is kind of a catch-all. It's a competitor to Etsy. Depop and Mercado both allow used clothing, things like that. Amazon has a Amazon Handmade. So there's that. eBay, there's always eBay. eBay is everything from yard sale type environment to people that are actually selling a product. So there's that. For me, I stuck with Etsy. I do my research when I get my opportunities, but I've found that I like what I'm doing. I'm big enough because it's just me. I did have a helper, but things changed for her, and she decided to go back to full-time work. So, which is fine. And right now I'm not, it's like, I like where I'm at. I'm not sure that I'm gonna, that's just me. That's just me. Anyway, okay. So who, what, when, where, and why? Who sells online? People that already have a business of some kind that are trying to expand into new markets. So people that have a retail business that are willing to expand into online. We've seen a ton of that during COVID. And smaller mom and pop shops usually tend to go for things like Etsy, Mercado, Depop. They're the 3 big ones for the independent stuff, Amazon Handmade, whatever. So that's that. But who else? People that they have hobbies. And rather than having their stuff built up sitting around the house, they go online and sell their stuff to try and get enough money for the next project. That's kind of how I started. I was making bags for Lisa, and the way that you have to buy your fabric, it gave me enough fabric for 2 bags. So it's like, well, here's one for you. What do I do with the other one? Oh, let's sell it online, and then it just grew from there. People who are looking for, they want to work from home. They don't want to be back in they don't want to go back to work in a in-person environment. Hey, I'm going to think of a product. I'm going to think of an idea. And then they go to Etsy. Like, obviously 7 million people are on Etsy. I don't know who's on all the other stuff. Then there's also people running their own independent websites. That's all over the place. People that are looking for a side gig. They have a full-time. There's two kind of pieces of that. There's semi-retired who would like a little extra money coming in, but there's also people that are working full-time and they would like a side gig. That's maybe the money that they use for their vacation spending. I've known people who have little side things going on and they just save it all year long and that's their Christmas money. So there's lots of that. So it's a catch-all of anybody, a whole lot of reasons. Okay, so who, what are they selling? Everything. If you there's people that have, like I said, you have your own online store. You're going to sell your extra stuff elsewhere. I actually had a second shop for a while. I sell through my main shop. I still have the shop. There's just nothing in it. One thing that I was doing was selling my leftover fabrics. Like I would get a really good deal on some fabric, have extra fabric. It's like, oh, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get to this. Let's sell some of it. Let's just sell some of this fabric. So finished goods, supplies, which I've done both, They are selling antiques. They're selling clothing. They are selling items around their house that they no longer need. So they're basically selling everything, as long as it's complying with state, local, federal, international laws, and in whatever country you happen to be in. There, you can pretty much buy anything. You can, as a matter of fact, you can go on. I think it's Alibaba. You can buy a car online and just they'll deliver it to you. It's weird. Anyway, so yeah, anything. So who, what, when are people making the decision that they want to do this? At any time, really. I mean, I started my shop 4 years ago, so I was already 50 plus when I did it. There's 18-year-olds that are deciding, well, if I can get a few sales, it'll help me bring in money while I'm going to college or university. So when is also, I should start my shop just before, I want to start my shop in time for blah. Like if you're doing Christmas ornaments, if you want to sell Christmas ornaments, then there's been a big influx of people starting shops in the fall because they want to sell Christmas ornaments to help them get their Christmas spending done. So, who, what, when? So when is probably an irrelevant question, but the timing does matter when it comes to starting this stuff. But like if you already have a retail shop, you may want to start from the get-go. It may not occur to you to even bother until you're a little bit bigger, ready to grow. So when is very much to the individual. Where is the vast majority of people, where is actually a valid question. The vast majority of people selling online in the category that I'm referring to, in the category you're sitting at home and deciding whether or not to do an online business, they're working from their own home. Most people do not, unless they're already selling from an established environment, like so they're a retailer, they're already retailing something somewhere, so they're moving from local to mail order. That's kind of what it is, right? So unless you've already got an established thing, most people are starting from their own home. People aren't really going out, I'm going to rent a garage, hire a bunch of people, do this, do that, do this, do that, and then sign up for my Etsy account. Most people want to get started slowly. So where? From home. From home. The information that, that's where I'm going to focus anyway. So just keep that in mind. Like, I mean, if you already have a business and a storefront and you're doing this and you're doing that, you're in a different category of activity. If you're sitting at home going, I have a sewing machine or 2 or 3 or 5, but we won't talk about me. If you've already got something going on, yeah, you're doing it from home. You're not going to go, I would never go, I like sewing. I'm going to go rent some space somewhere and start a business. So you're starting this from home. And why? Why is really important. Why you are starting an online business is probably, and like I said, I'm focusing on people that are like me. They have got something they want to sell. They've got a thought, an idea, a product, they want to sell it. And what do? This is where I'm going to be putting almost all of my focus. If it's helpful for people who are coming at this from different categories of experience, that's great. But for the most part, most people, the vast majority of people that sell on Etsy are selling because they started off at home. So why? Why are people selling? There's a whole lot of reasons. Some people are literally just doing it for something to do. They can be looking for side income for whatever reason. Some people literally go on places like Etsy and they sell for a loss because they don't care. There's been a few people that I've encountered that it's like, well, I'm only trying to get the cost of my materials back so I can have materials for my next project. They just enjoy the process of making stuff. They just want their materials to be free. That's why. And why can really matter, because a lot of people see this as a competitive environment. And when you stop to think about why, it can really help you sort out what you do and don't want to do. Okay, so why? For me, I started as a side gig, semi-retired. It's like, well, I should probably think about getting some kind of something going because I want to make a little bit of money and whatever. And this just kind of, it fell in my lap. It was a lucky series of events. And it's like, oh, well, this is working out better than I thought. I thought I was going to sell on Etsy, make $100 a month. That was my initial goal. Well, if I make $100 a month, that's really cool. And then, you know what? If I get a part-time job, 1-2 days a week, that's going to work out really well for what my goals were at the time. And it just worked out that I was making enough money that I didn't need to think about a day job. I didn't need to worry about it. Some people are dealing with family situations. Oh, you're at home with the kids. You're a stay-at-home parent. You want to make your own money, but the kids are so young. I was in this situation, and back then I would babysit a lot, where you're at home all day with the kids. You really do want/need some extra money coming in, but the cost of daycare versus the amount of money you'll be able to make means you're just working for the privilege of letting somebody else raise your kids. So situations like that, it's like, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, this is what's going on. I mean, financial considerations are usually one of the biggest things that have people going into an online environment looking to make sales. Okay, so that's like the part-time gig. That's the whole, oh, I'm looking for an opportunity and it came my way. And because of my situation, this is a big why. This is actually part of why. So this situation, this opportunity came my way and I was in a good situation to take advantage of that, which is usually where people kind of sort of get started. There's also the category of, I just got laid off, I really need the cash. There's also the, I don't want to work a day job. I don't like going into offices. There's a whole bunch of people that are like that. So it's like, I will take any opportunity to work from home. There's no work from home positions doing what I do. So I will start selling stuff online and see what happens. Okay. So why? Some people are literally thinking that some people are, an online business is going to make me millions and millions of dollars. I encounter people on a regular basis. I just opened my Etsy shop. My goal is to make $5,000 a month. It's like, for most people on Etsy, especially the first year, your goal should be 5,000 for the year, not the month. Anyway. So that's that. Okay. So so basically, have we done them all yet? I might even have to review this. I get distracted on the why, who, what, when, where, why. Yeah, I'm done. I'm at the why. We're done. So if any of this sounds like what you're looking for, what you want, what you need, then yeah, I'm going to have this all sorted up. Then yeah, I do this. I just stop. This is how I talk. Sorry. So I'm going to be doing videos talking about doing stuff online. Some videos are going to be more tedious than not tedious. I think it's okay. I could talk about Etsy. I will be probably talking about Etsy in particular most of the time, but most of the things that you will learn when running an Etsy shop can be applied to almost any other online environment. So that's something to really know. And yeah, I just decided it was time. Every time I keep encountering something, I encounter the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. And it fucking makes me crazy. It does. It makes me absolutely crazy. The shit that people say, the shit that people believe, and the shit that people expect, and then everybody's miserable. I mean, you can look it up right now. Do a look up right now. Why is Etsy evil? Why is Etsy? And like I said, Etsy is the biggest, right? When you talk about online marketplaces like Amazon, when you're talking like Amazon, eBay, those guys, everybody's always Amazon this, Amazon that. Well, Etsy is its own. It's like, Etsy is a devil. I literally talk to people, I would never buy from Etsy because, and it's like, because you've been reading the doom and gloom, haven't you? Etsy is surrounded by a whole bunch of doom and gloom from people who basically either don't understand how it works, tried it and failed spectacularly, tried it and did not succeed beyond their wildest expectations, and Lord knows the lack of success is never because of something that they could have done differently. So you see a lot of hate, just like a lot. I mean, everybody has their love-hate relationship with Amazon. Everybody has their love-hate relationship with Etsy, but I think that there's so much stuff out there that if people will just go, oh wait, I can do this. And here's the thing that I'm missing. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to demystify the process, make it easy, make it understandable, and make people realize where they can and can't be successful. Help people. I think going forward, I think I'll probably, I think a really good thing is going to be to use real world examples of situations that I've seen play out, because I have a Facebook group with 7,000 members where people talk about their questions, their problems, their issues to help get feedback and advice to work about. And my God, I've seen it all. So that's probably something I'm going to be really focusing on. I'll try to do it I'll try to stay on topic and keep it to one issue at a time, but we're going to go and get going through all this stuff. I'm also going to put it all into a playlist if I remember to do it right. I'll try and put it into a playlist so you guys can find that on its own away from the sewing videos. That way, if you're only interested in the Etsy stuff, it's really easy to find. If you're interested in the sewing, everything else, that's just going to be, that's already in playlists, actually. A lot of it is. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's a second thing I'm going to be doing on the channel because I love to talk. I love to hear my own voice. I'm just one of those people. It's fine. But I also have a lot of, I did a really deep dive into Etsy. I've done behind the scenes online customer service, online product management, online. I've done it in retail. I've done it behind the scenes, and I've just kind of built up this mental library of really good. I think it's really good information. I think it's really helped me. I've literally watched people go, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. What you're saying is wrong. And then, of course, when you're in a social media group, it's there forever. It's like, okay, I'll see you in 3 to 6 months when you're coming back asking me why did Etsy shut down my account, and just you can set your watch by this. Yeah, you'll be back, and you'll be back complaining why you don't have a store, and they always are. Anyway, that's doom and gloom. And I'm going to be focusing on helping you avoid the doom and gloom, have a positive experience while being aware. I'm making it sound really daunting, and it's not, but it's also a lot of information. And like the Etsy handbook is an online thing. It would take you like, probably if you got up every day and just went through the handbook, it would take you it's huge. It would print out to a 500-page book. It's not difficult, but it's not difficult, it's not daunting, it's not whatever, but it's knowing how to determine which is the important information and which is the fluff. I don't know if fluff is the right word. Like, there's a lot of tools and stuff that these websites have. Oh, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, but you don't have to do it all. And now I'm getting off into tangents that I'll be covering later and more specifically. But for now, I'm going to let this go and just point out that it's easier than you think. It really is. It's easier than you think, but everything is so surrounded by so much just doom and gloom that it's really hard to get the information that helps. It's easier to find and let's face it, it's easier to find somebody who's complaining, and it doesn't matter what the topic is. It's easier to find somebody who's complaining than to find somebody who's complimenting. So I just want to be that voice of reason, cutting through the bullshit and giving people information they can use. So we're going to go from there. I'm going to stop babbling now, and I'll be back later with more. And I'm going to continue showing you guys how to make stuff. Don't get me wrong. But I'm also going to be doing this as well, because it's easy. It's easy. I just got to sit here and babble my ass off, and it's fine. It'll be fine. We'll have a good time and learn some shit, and we'll go from there. And I have stories. Oh my God, I've got stories and anecdotes. I'll tell you about the girl that was making 11 cents an hour. I'll tell you about the guy who was earning $350,000 a year while spending $400. So I will tell you about those cautionary tales, how to avoid it, how to spot the issues, how to avoid them, how to make sure that you have a seamless, positive experience, and we'll go from there. Anyway, from now I'm going to let you go. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell. If you want to see more of this, if you like what you're hearing, if it's up your alley, and I will see you in the next one. And don't forget to comment below. I love to hear the comments. I'd love to hear, especially if you're thinking about an Etsy shop. I would love to hear, I'm thinking about an Etsy shop, I've got stuck on this. Because that'll give me really good ideas for videos I don't want to just babble into the wind. I do want to tackle topics that you guys really want to hear about, because obviously that's what I'm here for. Anyway, I'm going to go. I'll see you on the next one. You guys have a great day.